things are tough in the United States right now, but I'm still horny for life.
Here, I'll do it like this.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Gotcha. Welcome to Positively Charlotte.
I didn't know I was doing this.
And she dead.
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that one.
The man, the myth, the legend. Steve-O, how are you?
All right, we are back with another special version of the Comedy Corner. I'm here with my co-host Alicia Quarles, and we've got Liza on today. Welcoming.
I'm so excited to be joining you
Yeah.
on this Comedy Corner.
That's Liza, you actually had a special guest for Comedy Corner, right?
That's right. So I talked to Ilana Glazer. A lot of people know her from the movie Babes or Broad City. Broad City is one of my favorite shows.
Fantastic show.
It's so good.
Show.
So you got reintroduced. I'm an OG watcher. When it first came on Comedy Central, it was like must see TV, especially for this New York girl.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, what was that like in New York, living there and like watching all of this unfold?
Like incredibly relatable. That's what made it so funny. Like obviously it's satire, but like that kind of stuff happens in New York. You're living on top of each other. You're young, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out how we're going to survive in this city, trying to date, trying to do your thing. So it was just so relatable and gave some of like the stress you feel in New York humor. I felt seen.
I like that. Well, also, I noticed this when she was sitting there. I asked her, I was like, how are you just sitting in a restaurant? Like, just sitting here? And she's like, yeah,
recognized.
this is just New York.
Right.
So, like, you just run across people like Ilana Glazer just, like, on the regular.
You do. Well, you guys follow my friend Valerie Greenberg on social media. And you guys used to give me a hard time if you're always talking about celebrities. I'm like, because I'm always around them.
Yeah.
In New York, you're always just around them. So it's not a big deal. Like,
Yeah, no, I think I saw on Val's Instagram, she was like hanging out with all the Sports Illustrated cover models. I'm like, all right, Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, exactly. That's
bumping into
just
people all
like
the
life
time.
in New York. So Lana Grazer, you might see her on the street and you wouldn't say anything. We're cool.
We're cool. We're cool.
cool in New York.
Do you guys have a favorite Broad City moment? I know that there have been a lot that have gone viral over the past few years.
Yes.
On TikTok, like the sound where the in the club we all fam. That one is like a huge one. My favorite moment is when Abby goes up and they're in the park and wearing rollerblades, and then she tries to kick the soccer ball and he falls over. It's just there's so many moments like that.
I mean, I loved. I was a big Hannibal Buress fan very early on, and seeing him in that show. And there's some moments I can't really mention,
Real.
but I really like him. So seeing him in that show.
Mine is like when Ilana needed to make extra money and she became like a housekeeper. You guys read that episode?
Oh, that was such a funny one. And also, but there's so many cameos in that show too.
Yeah, they
Right,
are.
yeah.
Like a ton.
Just
You
New
know?
York, New York.
I mean,
through
it
and
was
through.
like the biggest names. They had Hillary Clinton on in an episode. I'm like, how
That's
did
exactly
you
who I
have
think.
this?
It was such a
New York
moment.
Broad City.
Right.
Hillary
But that is
Clinton.
one of the good things about living in New York because you are tripping over people. You're on the same social circles. It's very easy to get people onto your show or, to interview people because you're seeing them and you just hit them up.
That makes sense.
Do you miss New York?
I do. You know what? It's fun. I feel like New York is great I think I overstayed the party, but New York is good when you're in your 20s, when you're in your early 30s. So when you're about 35, you should probably, unless you make a ton of
Wrap
money,
it up.
you need to wrap it up.
Start aging out.
I just kept the party going, but it's a lot of fun.
All right, well, so we're going to throw it to Liza and her conversation with Ilana Glazer right now.
You know Ilana Glazer from Broad City and Babes, and she's got a tour going on. She is going all around town, and she is coming here to Charlotte. And we've got Miss Girl here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us, Ilana. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm pleased to talk to you today, Liza.
I'm so excited to talk to you too. Now, you are busy. You are just all over. I know you've got your podcast going too. It's open with Ilana Glazer. You're coming here to Charlotte, and we are so excited to have you. But also, with a lot of people who come through the Charlotte comedy scene, they say that it's a good spot to pass through. Have you been here before?
Dude, I forget if I'm doing the same venue, but my last Charlotte show, I was like, whoop. And like, it was so the Southern energy. Like, I'm just such a New York Jew that, I'm like, will they accept me down there? This little Jewish whatever. But it was such a blast. It was honestly raucous. And I'm really excited about this new hour. And I am so excited to bring it to y'all.
I know. Well, we're excited to have you. So some people who pass through, I know that a lot of comedians kind of like separate politics and humor, but I mean, I know that you just had AOC on your podcast. So where do you see the overlap with comedy and politics and where it kind of has a place in there?
You know, when Abby Jacobson and I were making Broad City, the web series, even as long ago as the web series, we saw this article, I'll never forget it, in the Washington Post by a writer named Megan Angelo, and she said, sneak attack feminism. Like you're laughing, but then suddenly you're realizing like, oh, I don't really see women be full people with all these different shades of their personalities and whatever. And we were like, feminism. We had like no idea, you know? We really were just making comedy from our lived experience, and others called it feminist. But since then, I've really understood like how political art is, period. If you're not talking about this oppressive system, you're a part of it. If you're talking about it, you know, you don't have to change it and will it and all this stuff. And you don't have to speak to it all the time. You know, everything is political, how I see it. And like, for me at this point, I'm not talking like two-party system. Personally, I'm not feeling represented by this system altogether, but I think it's this crisis of values we're seeing in our country that's really speaking to me right now. And I think people like receive it as political, but for me, like, I just want to see my fellow Americans have their basic needs met. And I totally get how that's political, but it doesn't feel that way to me, you know?
Yeah. So what are you covering in your stand-up set? Because I know it's going to be good. I know there's going to be drama. I know there's going to be chaos. But if you were going to describe it in one sentence, what do you hope people take away from it?
Things are tough in the United States right now, but I'm still horny for life. I am so horny for life. I love it. I love people. I'm having so much fun on tour. I've been like prepping it since October in New York, October to January in New York, but started like doing it around the country in different clubs, January until now, you know, practicing and getting it ready. And man, people are way more see eye to eye, way more than the people at the top want us to believe. And people just really, I really get this sense all around the country. People really want their neighbors to have what they need in this life, you know? And it's not such a competition. We're in community with each other. And yeah, I'm talking about how this world right now is just one that I'm like, I don't recognize this. I feel like this old lady where I'm like, this world has gone crackers. It didn't used to be this way, you know? But as a mom of a little kiddo, she's almost 5, my daughter, it's like, I'm just having the best time. And so, you know, while the world outside doesn't necessarily match my personal experience, I'm trying to hold both at once.
Now, I know that you've got your little munchkin. What is the number one thing that surprised you about being a mom or also raising a small human? You know, what is the biggest thing that really stood out to you that you were not expecting?
So I'm talking about the following in my latest hour, and I talked about it in my last hour too. I seriously cannot believe how joyful it is. There's a Yiddish phrase, kvelling, and which means like you're just like loving and so proud, bursting with pride. And there's also a phrase plotzing, which means like your heart did burst and you're like on the ground, you dead. I'm like, I'm kvelling so much, I might plotz. That's how I feel. I can't believe the joy. It just really shocks me. It's so hard. I'm so freaking tired, but it doesn't matter, you know? It's really just fascinating and fun and hilarious. And I talk in my stand-up out my latest hour how my daughter is like almost 5 and she's already more emotionally advanced than I am. I'm like I'm already like out of my depth, and the issues that she's dealing with are like above my pay grade already.
It's crazy because I feel like kids up until they're like 7 years old, they have this odd sense of wisdom. And then like once they hit 10 up until maybe you turn 29, you actually know nothing. Like, you know, like, but up until they're 7.
Literally. Because that's right. Because this world, like I want to protect my baby from all the, you know, mishigas in the world, all the nonsense. But like it just creeps in and it'll be like child on, and they lose that sense of that like ancient wisdom. They're like little, you know, Yodas or something when they're little kids. And I have this bit in the hour where my daughter was like having a cry, and this is about a few months ago, and I didn't know what it was about, and I was like, "Baby, what's wrong? What are you crying for?" And she said, "My feelings are changing. Oh, I don't like when my feelings change." And I was like, "That took me 35 years, and years 19 to 34, full brownout." She's 5 years old, stone cold sober. I'm like, "Okay, teach me your ways, my dog."
Yeah, you're like, how did you figure this out? How did you figure this out? This took me thousands of dollars in therapy to figure out. Like,
Literally. The articulation, like, it's like the knowing her feelings and the articulation. I can't believe it. And it's like this world that we live in right now. I mean, there's so much nonsense. It's really reflecting all that nonsense that's piled onto little kids. So I feel so fortunate in my work that I get to be a little kid. Like it was just, and I'm just remembering this last Charlotte shows. Oh my God, so fun. I was literally like, I like couldn't believe that, like the laughter and the freaking hooting and hollering. And it was like so much fun. And we do get to be, even though, we get to be kids. Like again, like I think like political for me, like I just want to share reality. Our reality is so fractured. We're like being sold such stories right now. I just want to be like, this is what's happening, right? And then laugh. And that's really the vibe this hour.
okay, also, I'm just realizing the fact, I know that you mentioned that you're just in a restaurant right now, but I'm just so stunned that people aren't walking up to you being like, "Are you Ilana Glazer?" Like, how are you just living
You know what
in
my vibe is like the wait staff knows me, and I'm like, "Hey girl," and like we already chatted. You know what I mean? Like we had like full on chats. But I look like half of New York City, like wherever people come from. This is like what half of the population looks like. So that's
Oh
cool.
my gosh.
Also, Liza, I want to say, like, I'm just talking about like, day to day too, like therapy and Botox, grocery shopping. I don't grocery shop stoned anymore, and I'm very proud of myself. But like, I can't believe I ever did, like running around like a lab rat in a maze. Like, I used to think I had to get stoned to go to the grocery store. I'd be like, all right, I need coffee and blue cheese.
Coffee.
It's like, this is so hard. Like, I was training with weights before, and now I'm flying through the supermarket.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, here's also my question for you. I know you're like you're doing comedy in so many forms all the time. Do you have a favorite form? Is stand up your favorite? Is, a sitcom your favorite? What is it?
It's hard to choose, and also like right now I'm so focused on stand up. I just love stand up. It's so satisfying, and it's taken me a while. Like Broad City like took off, and I was doing TV like for just years and making so much of it before I returned to stand up. And I really feel like I've been doing comedy for 20 years. I did stand up, but I've really been focusing on it for the last 10, and I feel like I'm really getting a hang of my voice and the business and what it means to tour. And it's just, there's nothing like it. It's feeling so spiritual these days because things are so rough. You look at the news and you look out in the world, and it's like, what is this world I'm living in?
Mm.
And to get together and laugh, it's so healing. It's been so fun. Right. I mean, right now, but again, it's because it's right in front of my face. But man, stand up is just magic.
Yeah. But also, so many people love you from Broad City. I absolutely love that show.
Thank
And
you.
so many
I love it
people's
so much.
it's their comfort show. What is your comfort show? And also, do you watch Broad City? Like, is that like a weird thing for you?
Oh,
Because it is so
yeah.
funny to so many people. But is it
I
like
know,
a
and,
weird
like,
thing of watching yourself?
I haven't watched it since. I don't think Abby has either. Like since it aired, we would write 8 to 10 drafts. We would do 5 passes of an edit, and by the time it aired, and also TV used to be on at a certain time, Wednesdays at 10:30. By the time it aired, it was like, okay, these are cells in my blood. You know what I mean? Like so deep in me. And then at this point, it feels so emotional. Like when I just week. I tried
Yeah.
watching it starting from the beginning, and I was like, I'm going to watch every episode. I made it through one act, and my husband and I were watching it, and we were dying laughing. I was like, oh, sorry, please. You don't see. Like when I see a clip, I can't believe that's me and Ab. We're like, it's so silly. It's so funny. So I haven't watched it, but like I think about it. I would like to. It's so funny. to me, I'm like, this is so nutty. My comfort show, do you know Ina Garten?
Yes. Our
I
girl.
just watch Ina, and like I'll watch the same episode. It's like there's no story. I'll watch the same like I'm on this roast beef sandwich right now that I cannot get past. It looks incredible.
Also, I mean, did you see that her chocolate, what was it? Like the brownie pudding that went viral on TikTok?
No.
Oh my
What is
gosh,
it?
you need to try it. It's basically like if you think of like brownie soup, but like she found a way to make like a French onion take of brownie soup. It's like,
Oh my
the top of it
God.
is like crusted over, but then the bottom's kind of batter. Look this up. Are you not on TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok.
Because I was gonna
Yeah,
say also, it must be weird hearing your voice because the clip that went viral of the In the Club We All Fam, I can only imagine what that must have been like when, like, if you were scrolling on TikTok and randomly just heard your own voice, that must be so trippy.
it was like genuinely emotional. It was like so heartwarming. We were like, it was just so sweet. In the club. And it's like so like awkward and nerdy and these like white girls. Like it's so funny, dude. And like it was just so sweet. The brownie soup sounds wild. That's
Right?
crazy.
I know.
Brownie soup. Nuts.
Just
You know what I
looking
love
it
about Ina Garten too? Like I'm just like I'm just so happy to be a mom. I feel like I'm like clicked into the person I've always been meant to be. But Ina Garten does not want to be a mom. Never has. I love it about her. She's like, no. I'm like, I just love it.
Literally, she's like, I'm domesticated for myself. Like, she's like,
Exactly.
I'm
She's like,
cooking
I'm my
for me."
baby. Yeah. I am my baby, and Jeffrey sometimes too. Totally.
Oh, it's just the best. Okay, well, also another thing for a lot of people, like comfort shows, reality TV. Like I love Dancing with the Stars. Would love to see you on
That's
Dancing with
so
the
funny.
Stars.
That is so funny.
So, do you have a reality show that you feel like you would do well on? Do you think you would succeed at
I think
Dancing
Dancing with the Stars would be good. I honestly would like to try Survivor
Oh, you would be
'cause I
so
wanna
good on
know-
that because you're so
want to
charming.
know survival stuff anyway. I don't really get it. Like, is it like you're manipulating the people around you?
Honestly,
All
like,
right.
I don't know enough about Survivor. I've seen
Got it.
like I know like the surface level knowledge, but people also
Yeah.
the other thing is you would have so many fans from that because people who watch Survival are like Survivor are die hard fans. Like they
Wow.
go
Wow.
hard for that show. But
I want to know survival skills. You know what I mean? I feel like this
Right.
would be like a rude awakening as a jump start. So I would like that. Dancing with the Stars sounds. I mean, I'm not going to do these things, but like they sound. It would be hysterical, like almost like a goof in a way. You know what I mean? Like me in reality setting would be like so nuts.
I mean,
But it's interesting.
has anybody reached out to you about reality TV shows? No? You know what? We got to call people up. We got to call people up.
I'm like, I don't know that. I don't know that I would do it. You know.
That's so fair.
But it's like, it's really that I just have never thought about it either.
Yeah.
But it's cracking me up as you say.
No,
it.
honestly. But it's kind of like, I feel like when you're a kid, you think that you're either going to end up like getting hit with a tsunami. You think you're going to end up stranded on an island. And so you're like, I need to know these skills. And now as a full grown adult, I'm like, I couldn't go camping by myself. Like I couldn't.
know.
You know?
I know. I can't really drive out of the city. I'm such a bad driver. I'm like, I like feel so disempowered that I like literally need my husband to drive me, like my grandma Blanche. She'd call Dave, pull the car up, and it's like, I am Grandma Blanche now. Like
But
I'm already
that's-
Grandma
you're just-
Blanche.
that just means you're a true New Yorker, you know? Like
yeah.
you're
And also
you're
like
a
I know
real
my
New Yorker.
limits. I don't have to do everything, you know?
No, it's so true. Well, I think that the only question is, when are you coming to Charlotte? We're so excited to have you. And or do you want me to share the info for you? Because I can also.
You share the info for me because I'm like, I got so many dates going
I
on.
know.
What's the date? You tell me.
The date is May 28th at the Night Theater, and
Yes.
we're so excited to have you.
Yes. And I believe this was where I went last time. Dude, it was so much fun. I had so much fun. People can get tickets at ilanaglazer.com. And literally already, thank you, Charlotte, for giving me such a fun show in the past. I cannot wait to perform for y'all.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. Ilana, thank you so much for your time. We so appreciate you having a little chat with us today.
Thanks, Liza. I so appreciate your time. Thanks for having me. Talk soon.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.